Hi, I'm Chris Ralph, the Professional Prospector, and I'm going to do a series on indicator hacks of how to find gold. Now, I'm out here actually at an old gold mine. This mine was worked actually around the turn of the century, the early 1900s, and then again in the 1980s. And there's been some nice gold here, and hey, I myself have found some nice gold here. So I'm going to talk about what kind of indicators and hacks that you would use to figure out, if you came out to an old gold mining area, where are the areas that you would look in an area? Because this is many acres. Would you just look any old place everywhere? It's something that you want specific things that you can look for. So I've got 10 indicator hacks for going to existing old placer areas that will indicate for you where the gold is likely to be. And we're going to start off with number one right now. So my first indicator hack that I'm going to talk about is ground cuts. I'm standing in a ground cut right now at this mine. There's a cut going up this way and a cut going up that way, other one's over there, crisscrossing over between. These are cuts that the miners cut out to dig their gold-bearing gravels. And so when you see ground cuts like this, a whole series of them, not just one, because people might have cut a trench to drain water from something, but when you see a whole series of them interwoven and cutting across each other with piles of dirt and that kind of stuff, that's a good indicator hack that's going to tell you that there's gold in this area because, well, the miners work this area, and what you want to look for is maybe little knolls that the miners, they cut here, they cut there, and maybe between the cuts there'll be little knolls or little flat tops, and those are some of the good places to take your metal detector and go searching.
You see, all over the West, in places where there was water and there was placer gold in the dirt and gravel and soils, the miners would literally wash away the soil and wash it into their sluice boxes. And these weren't necessarily river gravels. They would wash the soil off the side of a hill and wash it into their sluice boxes and get a lot of gold that way. They washed away the hillsides and ran it through their sluice boxes, and they, like I say, got a huge amount of gold, but there's piles of boulders and cobbles that they would leave behind that were too big to go in their sluice box, and they would expose some bedrock. And usually in the bedrock areas, there can be gold, and also in mounds adjoining where they didn't process every little bit of gravel, there can be some virgin, undisturbed gravels with all the original gold in it. And digging out these in-place gravels that were never mined in the old days can be really profitable for modern prospectors.
So, this is one of those little hillocks. You see there's a drainage that goes right in front of me. There's one that goes right behind me. And you can see there's a little hill right here behind me that is the little mound between the drainages. And it's along the top of these things. Often you'll see rocks stacked upon them. It's along the top of these that are good places to prospect, and that's one of your indicator hacks for gold. Now, another thing I want to talk about is what they call stacked rock piles. In very narrow drainages where you have like a little stream or a little gully, a lot of times the miners just didn't have a lot of place to put the rocks, and so they would choose one wall or the other of the little narrow drainage, and they would literally stack in an organized way the rocks along that side. And oftentimes underneath those stacks there's decent gravel and decent gold. Even if the gut of the stream has been cleaned completely, underneath that specifically stacked wall of rocks you'll find oftentimes some pretty decent gold. I know of some guys who's actually had some really good success with that.
So here is an example of one of those carefully stacked rock, basically rock walls. You can see that the rocks in the center, you've kind of lost part of the wall, but on either side the miners carefully stacked the rocks, and oftentimes this was done because of a narrow gully or a narrow way through a drainage that they didn't have room, and so they stacked the rocks carefully on the edge. And oftentimes under these rocks, under the stacked rock wall, is a really good place to look for gold, because it contains dirt and gravel that the miners didn't actually work. They stacked their rocks on top of unworked gravel.
So I just showed you an example from a desert type of area, and here's an example of carefully stacked rocks from a forested area in the Sierra Gold Country in California. And you can see that it's been a while since the old miners stacked this, and there's actually been moss grow all over the rocks, but it's there. You can still see that they're stacked in a wall, and this is in a little narrow drainage way. And here's another view of that same drainage way, and you can see how narrow it is. It's only 4, 5, 6 feet, maybe 7 or 8 at the absolute widest. And they had to conserve the space because they just didn't have a lot of space to work with. And so they would put their cobbles and boulders that wouldn't work in their sluice box on one side. And you can see in this one, the right side is clean, it's bare rock, and then on the left side they've built their cobble stack, and underneath the stack is going to be good gold.
Okay, another one of my old-time placer miner sign indicator hacks is stack boulders like this. You see, this is an old placer area. The old-time miners, actually they took out several thousand ounces of gold out of this general area. And when they worked their gravels, they had to run it through a sluice box and to recover the gold. And what they did, there was always rocks that were too big to go through the sluice box, so they pitched them up in a pile like this. Now, I mentioned before areas that were really tight and they had to perfectly stack them up because they didn't want to take up any more room than they had to. But these ones, they just pitched them in a pile. And actually the truth is, around the edges of these piles and underneath these piles are really good places to find nuggets. I've found some nice nuggets just taking piles like this and tossing them aside, moving them out. Because the old-time miners, even in areas like this where there's plenty of room, they still had to put the rock someplace, and a lot of times they buried areas where there was some decent nuggets. So remember this indicator hack, the piles of stacked rocks.
Now here's a cobble pile I'd actually already shown you, and you can see that there's some bedrock in between, and a lot of times around the edges of these piles the bedrock is really good. And if you get nuggets that are leading with your metal detector into the cobble pile, it's often worthwhile to peel back the edges of the pile, toss a few rocks that are on the edge back into the pile and expose some more bedrock, and a lot of times you'll get some more gold out of that. Tossing rocks to get gold, that's a pretty common thing. In some placer gold areas, these piles of cobbles just seem to go on and on and on, acre after acre of them. And in between the piles, there'll be little areas of bedrock or weathered bedrock that's exposed. And these are all good places to check with your metal detector. And like I say, if the gold leads up into the pile, well, peel back the pile a little bit and chase the gold in.
Okay, so I want to show you, as one of our other indicator hacks, an area that's been stripped of its ground. Now, you can see here's a little drainage right here where the old-time miners dug this out, and right behind me is an area that they've stripped the ground off. You can see the rocks and stuff that they left behind. They stripped this area, and things are starting to grow back now because it's been decades since there was any work here. But they've stripped this area off and left some material, but they mined most of the material off the top because it had gold in it. Well, what normally happens with these things is that there's oftentimes gold even deeper than what they stripped off. So this is a great indicator hack of a place to take your metal detector or other digging things that you're going to do in your search to find gold, because this is something that the miners left behind for you. Okay, so I wanted to show you another little cleared area. You can see the area cleared around me where I'm standing. Actually, this little cleared area was something that the miners cleared off in the old days and left a lot of gold behind. You see, they couldn't tell. They didn't have metal detectors to know what they were, clearing off, or whether they got all the gold or just most of the gold. And this is an area where I've taken more than 50 gold nuggets out of just a small area right behind me. The biggest nugget that's come out of here has been 1/4 of an ounce, although most of them were about 1/2 gram or even some less. So, but there was a huge number of nuggets. This is what was called a patch, and there was a lot of gold came out of this spot. So when I talk about those cleared areas in a gold mining zone where people have worked in the past, that's a good place to look. I know what I'm talking about.
Now, the area down below where I'm looking here, the flat down below, is a huge area, acres and acres, cleared off by hydraulic mining. And there's bits of piles of cobbles and areas of bedrock exposed for acres and acres. And this is the kind of thing I'm talking about, areas where they cleared off the overburden and it's now accessible to prospectors. Now, when the old-time miners used to get in there with their hydraulic mining, they would wash away and clear off huge areas of bedrock. As you can see in the foreground here, there's just acres and acres of bedrock, and they would intentionally clean it. They cleaned it reasonably well, but they always left a little gold behind, and that's what we can get out there with our metal detectors and find a few nuggets that they, just didn't know were there. Now, this is an actual cleared off area in Africa, and it wasn't worked by hydraulic, with water pressure to wash away the dirt. This was all dug by hand, but this was a rich gold area. And, even though the guys who were there worked it as best they could, you could still go through here with a metal detector and find gold. Now, this was an area that the early day miners mostly cleaned off, but they left some gravel behind. You can see a little bit of the gravel on the left side there, but a friend and I came in here and cleaned this off, and we washed off 2 ounces of gold out of this little spot using a high banker. Now, the old-time miners worked these spots pretty well, and they got an awful lot of gold, but they didn't get it all. They left some good stuff behind. And if you can read the signs and see where the gold is going to be in some of these old workings, you're going to be in great shape when you go out to go prospecting, and you can read the signs of the past placer mining.
Now, if you want to become a better prospector for yourself, I've written a book about prospecting. It's like an encyclopedia. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my book right now. This is my book, Fistful of Gold. And like I say, it's an encyclopedia of prospecting. And, if you want to go out and find your own nuggets, you want to go find your own gold, you want to be successful, well, it's about what you know. The guys who are finding gold, they have a knowledge. It's a skill. I sometimes compare it to like being an electrician. Just buying a voltmeter at Home Depot doesn't make you a journeyman electrician. And having a sluice box or a metal detector or gold pan doesn't make you a successful prospector. It's about what you know, right? And that's why I wrote this book. Like I say, it's an encyclopedia. It has stuff that really is for beginners. It has stuff that's for mid-level guys that have learned the basics and want to learn more. And it has even some more advanced things for guys that have some experience but want to learn even more. And I've actually run into people in the field where they tell me something and I say, well, that's a pretty advanced concept. Where'd you learn that? And then they said, I read your book. So, it has a real high rating on Amazon, and it's available either from Amazon or from High Plains. Now, High Plains Prospectors, they're an outfit that's a mail order prospecting equipment dealer. They have everything you can imagine from, a simple gold pan through basic metal detectors all the way to high-end metal detectors and other stuff. If you need it for the prospecting games, High Plains has it. And you can get a discount code with them. If you order something from them, use the discount code Chris Ralph. It's CHRISRALPH in all caps, no space in between Chris and Ralph. And you can get a discount off of what you're buying from them. And then they have my book. You can get my book from them. And so they're really great guys, and I've dealt with them for a while, and I'm happy to recommend them because like I say, they're good dudes. So if you want to learn more about prospecting, consider my book, Fistful of Gold. And be sure to take a look at my YouTube episodes. I've got lots of videos and lots of information on YouTube. And, you know, I oftentimes get people say, hey, Chris, why don't you make a video on XYZ, right? And it's like 90% of the time, it's like, I already have a video on XYZ. Take a look. And so if you're interested, look at my back catalog of videos because there's a lot of good information there. And we'll see you in the next video.